Hello and welcome to our fourth session of Trail of Cthulhu. This is a slightly modified version of the Cthulhu Lovecraftian investigation game set in the 1930s from Pelgrane Press. We've done some additions to the base investigation and a few other minor changes, but overall, this is a pretty good representation of what Trail of Cthulhu is like. My name is Lowell. Pronouns he, him, and this session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. Our characters, our protagonists, and I think I'm just going to use protagonists. I think that's a reasonable thing to say, have been looking for a man named Aliquin Hurt. They have tracked things back in a couple of different directions. To some wealthy people, to some organizations, to a particular building. And last time, they confronted one of the actors in this, the cult of the Thousand Hands, who are operating out of a Turkish-American sort of friendship offices, sort of well-off Turkish expatriates, and they found quite a bit of evidence of cultic activities, sort of confirming what they had learned earlier, that Hurt had kind of been involved with them, trying to figure some things out, and had possibly crossed them, and they had summoned something to hunt him, which our investigators encountered on site. So I imagine we take up now with our characters. Has everyone done their refresh? Okay. So I imagine we take up with our characters.
Lowell, I have not. Could you remind me what the refresh, how that works again?
So you can refresh. You can do this twice. One pool and 3 points worth of general. So in fact, 2 pool and 6 points worth of general, because I had forgotten that for a bit. I think, maybe unsurprisingly, Harry, you are the only person uninjured at this moment. And I think, Elena, you're the one with the most significant wound to you.
Just a light stab, I think it was.
Yeah, it was a stab.
Also some broken glass. Yeah.
So let's take up now. Keep in mind this happened during the day. So we are maybe late afternoon. Let me ask, Olenka, you're wounded, so you may be the person who has the most sort of say in where you go from there. So where do you go from there? Like, do you go to somebody's place? Do you go call on your contacts to lay low? Do you just go to the automat and look around for napkins? Like, how do you want to handle this? What do you think, Elena?
Sorry, I'm having some mouse troubles there.
Okay.
I actually think Elena is hurting and not sure where she wants to go, and which is not so in character for her. She's a little bit at a loss, and so I think like she turns to maybe Woodrow or Harry, and says, and thinking of them as sort of like I don't know. Let's say she turns to Harry. Harry has sort of been taking a little bit of a leadership role here, I think. Leading from the back. as leaders do. And I think she says, so this did not get us to hurt. Oh, it got me to hurt a little bit, but it did not get us to the young man. Do we know where to go next?
Well, I would say that I think this means we have to go back to ask our actual employer, pay him a visit.
I would love to visit Mr. Krause.
Sarah, still clutching her side, says, I may want to make a stop by the hospital first. I think I'm still bleeding pretty bad.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, in trying to get away from a literal monster, I kind of got stabbed. She says as she's clutching her side, and she's holding she's holding a large handkerchief to her side, and you can see that you can see it's gotten pretty saturated with blood.
Yeah, Elena looks down at her own sort of, I think, wounded arm, right, and says, which is a slightly, I think, worse wound, the cannon, like numerically, and says, yes, it's probably, maybe we should get these taken care of, but it's, you clean it, you cover it, you move on.
So does someone wish to do a first aid check?
Yeah, I would like to first aid.
Okay. Then you can make a first aid test. The difficulty is 4. If you're successful, you can heal health damage for every point additional that you spend, you can heal 1 point.
Oh, wait. Okay. So if I were to spend 3, then that means I can heal 3?
Well,
if I succeed.
So you first want to succeed at a difficulty 4, and then you can spend. It is a harsh little system. So you have to choose how you want to do this.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I think Harry is going to be like, wow, the ladies are getting hurt. Oh, well, that's not my problem. But seeing kind of like the way that Elena's arm is like kind of mangled, is like, well, and then like takes out that like kind of gross handkerchief, and it's like, I have skills when it comes to people bleeding. I won't say I have experience with that, but I have a handkerchief, and I'm going to help. Gonna try to staunch some of that bleeding for Elena, and I'm going to spend 3. Yeah.
So here's the question. Then you'll have your first aid is 5, so you have 2 points left over to actually heal damage.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems right.
Yeah, that sounds solid. Because
so if you spend 3, you don't even have to roll, but you should roll. Oh, just in case you might get a good roll, in which we would give you some free heals.
Sweet. Okay. And it's just 1d6, right?
1d6.
Jeez. I rolled a 4.
Okay. So you are able to do that. And how many points of do you want to heal of Elena's?
2.
Okay. So that'll heal 2 of your 3 points of damage, Elena.
Yeah, I say thank you, Harry. Did you fight in Europe?
I did not.
Where did you?
Why would you say that?
Where did you learn this kind of battlefield medicine?
Well, here and there, scraps It happens to the best of us. And I'll like pull really tight to distract you.
And I sort of grimace at that, bite, maybe even chomp down on my tongue and like, "Arr!" By mistake.
Sorry, old gal. Pat you on the back.
So, Sarah's still hurting pretty bad.
Yep.
Can you do a first aid roll if you don't have first aid?
No. Well, you
No.
can, but
It's not very effective.
it's not going to be effective.
Got it. All right. Sorry.
That would be used if, say, you'd gotten down to, say, the very bottom of your health track and you were just making a roll to stabilize someone.
Got it.
Yeah. But you also can rest overnight and heal that way if you wish to let time pass. That's also an option.
I'm thinking that might not be a bad idea, because at first I was thinking of maybe catching a cab over to Bellevue, and I'm going to have to explain why I have a knife wound.
Okay. Now, let me tell you again, let me remind you another mechanical thing. If you have a skill that an investigative skill that's applicable, that you think might represent that you also have some medical knowledge, or at least maybe have some skill, you can always make a push spend from that pool to give yourself a temporary 3 pool in another thing. So just is out there. But you want to head to Bellevue, Sarah?
I think I am going to head over to Bellevue and, claim to. I know. I'll claim to be the victim of a mugging, but I didn't get a good look at the guy.
Okay. So I think that to get this taken care of on sort of that way, either they're both interpersonal, but a spend from Cop Talk to convince people that they shouldn't, stop you or question you, or from credit rating.
Remind me how credit rating works.
Basically, we take a look at your number in credit rating, which I believe you have
I have a 2.
So it would probably cost you most of your ready cash, but you can make a spend from that and get some medical treatment.
I think I'm going to do that.
Okay.
So that's spend 1. So that's
spend 1 from
a point.
interpersonal. And that will heal you 1 health, and essentially you're bandaged up. And there's no bleeding. You've gotten the wound cleaned up. It's not going to get infected, anything like that. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
So while your intrepid reporter heads off to Bellevue, Woodrow, what are you thinking now? We haven't heard from you for a bit here.
Well, just in terms of like, what are we going to do next?
Yeah. Where's the next step?
Mm-hmm.
Do you just lay low for a bit, or is there something you want to do while Sarah's recovering?
I don't want to lay low. I mean, I'm kind of being blackmailed, so I think I'm probably on a short clock. Somebody was suggesting, I think it was Sarah was suggesting that we go talk to Frank Strauss. I think that's a good idea.
Elena, Harry, are you down for that?
Yeah, I mean, it was 100%. I think yes.
Did you tell us that you're being blackmailed?
I don't think I said that, at least not in so many words.
Can I actually ask Woodrow a question? This is going to sound like a little bit of a weird question, but how does, this is like 1936, right? How does Woodrow feel about Stalin? This is an important question for Elena.
Can I get back to you and type that in the chat? I don't want to be anachronistic. I've got to do it.
Well, it says the U.S. Communist Party at this time was extremely pro-Stalin. That's the reason I asked.
Yeah. I think that, like, people either didn't realize or were in denial at this point.
Oh,
I
that's also
don't
certainly
think-
true.
So I think I probably am pro Stalin, but like
Cool.
if I had all the information, I wouldn't be.
That's cool. I don't have all the information either, but well, yeah, cool.
So if track down Frank Strauss. So tell me how you think that works. Are you talking to people? Are you going to the library to look up things? I know you have some information on who he is. What do you think is the right investigation skill to kind of follow that back to get more detail, like on his location right now?
Oh, good question.
And to refresh what you know that he is a society occultist. You know that he's well off. You know that he runs in the circles that Humboldt runs in. And, you know, seems to at least have some kind of esoteric knowledge.
Can I just ask I mean, is this the kind of thing that like Harry as an antiquarian might have like had some contact with him, or at least have contacts who have contacts with a person like this?
Yeah, a cult would be the appropriate spend for this.
Oh, I do not have a cult.
I mean, I have a cult and I'd be happy to spend it on this in some way, but I think socially I'm less likely to have traveled in the circles that Strauss does.
Right. Yeah. Because I have like archaeology and architecture. Which I guess is not as related.
Woodrow, I know you have a cult.
Yeah, I can do a spend from that.
So I imagine that you call up some contacts, that you talk to some people who are in the occult circles, and you'll ask about Strauss. And they'll say, Strauss takes part in a number of things, but I know recently he's been operating as part of a salon in on the Upper West Side. The sort of wealthy clients, not seances, but other forms of study and esoterica. And they'll give you an address that you can check out. He's likely there in the evenings. He does have membership in an exclusive club, so that's also a possibility if he's not there at the salon that he frequents.
Great. Well, I'll relay that back to everybody else.
So here's the question then for Harry and Elena. Do you want to go over there right away with this information in hand, or do you want to wait until Sarah gets discharged in the evening?
I'll wait.
I was gonna say, encountering occultists in the evening sounds like more fun than the middle of the afternoon.
Then I think we will cut to sometime later. It's still hot out. Sun is kind of just setting here. This is a nicer neighborhood, brownstones. There are doormen, butlers, that kind of thing. And you will see that there is a 3-story brownstone that this is located. The windows have colored curtains. You can see some different lighting on the inside. They clearly don't showcase off the weirdness of this, because this is an upstanding neighborhood that might be a little if they knew that there were such engagements of the spirit world here, my neighbors might be upset. But I think you, Sarah, who have covered this beat, can recognize like all of the basic paraphernalia. You can see that there is a doorman here who is clearly dressed up slightly to look the part of being someone mysterious or exotic. They've got a makeshift turban that is clearly not authentic to complete their act. And it definitely looks like there are people there consulting. So how do you four want to play this? Is this a split up? Is this a smash and grab? Is this a repeat of our earlier instances?
I think a repeat of our earlier instances might not be a good idea, given how well the last time we tried that went.
Yelena's instinct I'm sorry, I didn't catch, like, is Strauss easily recognizable in the group? I just want to.
Yes, actually, you managed to get a picture of him, I believe, last time.
Right. So, like, Elena's instinct is just to walk right up to him and start shaking him down for information on Hurt.
So kick in the front door.
Jesse wants to check in with the group and make sure you're okay with that.
I'm thinking we might want to try to talk our way in to make ourselves to, try to fit in, try to make it look like we belong here. Kind of like talk our way in and join the party. Although we're probably not quite dressed for it.
Whatever the opinion is, Harry is going to just be like, oh yeah, and then like stay all the way at the back. I'm down for Elena just like I'm
also happy to follow Sarah's lead. I mean the other okay. I think Elena sort of maybe whispers under her breath or quietly to probably Sarah and Woodrow and Harry. All right. I'm gonna go in hard, but if it goes bad, maybe you can follow up and try to, smooth things over. And, good cop, bad cop, right? Is that appealing to folks?
That sounds like it could be a lot of fun. As for how to get in,
can I push through the door?
We could certainly do that.
Yeah, I think I just try to shove my way through, throw elbows, push, and just approach Strauss as quickly as possible in that way.
So let's consider this. So if Elena goes charging across the street up to the front, walk up to the door.
Yep.
Who is behind Elena? Harry, I know, is way back.
I'm suggesting no one be, right? I'm kind of suggesting they all hang back across the street and then watch. And if as it turns, they can then sort of come in. I'm so sorry about our drunk friend.
So Harry, it's
up to them if they want to. I just wanted to. That was a suggestion.
I like that. Let's roll with that.
Okay, Woodrow, where are you at in this?
Well, I mean, if Elena really wants us to stay across the street, I guess I could, but I was thinking that, I would maybe want to at least walk into the building with Elena.
So you're a little bit closer. So if Elena gets the door open, you can move up the steps, get in.
I think I'm going to go a little bit with my initial plan is to try to pretend that I belong here and walk in. I can attempt I'll go in like behind Elena, but you know, as if I belong here. I do have some points in disguise that I could spend.
Maybe
You wish to
maybe I'm playing the distraction, and that's what's happening, right?
Sarah, do you want to disguise yourself?
I want to try to disguise myself. Yes.
Absolutely. Like a simple, like just not look like you kind of thing.
Yeah, for the most part, try to make myself look a little more posh than I mean, I think Sarah dresses fashionably, but she's not rich, so
Yeah. So you're trying to fake your credit rating appearance and not look like Sarah Jenkins at immediately at first glance.
correct.
Okay, let's say difficulty 3.
Okay. Well, let's spend let's spend all of my disguise points,
Okay.
which are 2. So that'll be an auto success, but
Let's
I'll
have
roll
you
anyway.
roll. Yeah. Just in case you roll really well.
So that's a D6 plus 2. Roll.
So
I
that's
rolled a 4 on the die, so that's a 6.
okay. So yeah, you are not, recognizable as Sarah immediately. You look a little more posh. So, Elena, you go up these steps onto the frontage of this brownstone. Big heavy door. If you grab the handle, it's certainly locked. Are you doing the knocker, or are you hitting the bell? What do you think? You are muted.
Muted. I think I'm like pounding heavily.
Okay. So and the door will be opened by this big doorman with this terrible turban on.
So I think that just like as he starts to open the door, before it can get too far, once I sort of like hear it start to open and he's still behind it, I push my weight into the door to sort of like try and shove him and the door back together, so he's always on the other side of the door.
So that definitely feels like we're doing athletics here, right? Or melee.
I think so.
Oh, let's go with athletics here, because I don't think you're trying to strike him. You just want to force.
Just want him forced out of the way. Yeah.
Okay.
And so what's the
I think he's a big guy, so I'm going to say difficulty 4.
All right.
And a black cat crosses your path.
I'll spend 3 on that to make sure it succeeds.
Okay.
And then I will roll. And that's a 5.
Okay. So he starts to open the door. He starts to say something, and you hit that door, and he goes, stumbling back. We've got a hallway with, the kind of narrow rug. You can see that there's a parlor off to one side that's unoccupied. There are pocket doors that are closed, clearly to a room where maybe there's something going on. Another like swinging door back to a kitchen, and then stairs going up to the second floor. This guy goes flying backwards, and you will shove your way in, and he's like, whoa.
I think I like, if he's like knocked back on his ass, is he on the ground, or is
he's thrown back, and he's raising his voice, and what the hell?
I reach down and grab him by the front of the shirt, and I say, and sort of like threatening him with my fist, I say, take me to Strauss. And it's not really investigation, but this is like an intimidation.
Oh no, this is sure. You want to get something, which is that. So if you want to make an intimidate spend, that's not a problem. And then I'm going to follow up and check where all your compatriots are at that point.
Do
that. Sarah, boom, door goes smashing open. Lally, this guy starts yelling, and then you see Elena grab him by the collar up and start to lift him up and threatening him. Where are you at that point, Sarah?
I think I'm a few steps behind. I'm going to, I think I'm a few steps behind. The way I want to try to play it is I was coming up to make a social call to Strauss when this ruffian barged in. So I'm going to like go in to see if everything. I'm going to go inside and see if everything is okay.
So you were kind of in the hall, kind of back a little ways, kind of in the corner. Not this guy may not even have noticed you yet. What about you, Woodrow? When that tableau occurs?
I think I have to be just kind of like around the corner or something, because if Sarah is going in disguise, I don't want to blow that. So I'll try not to be visible.
And Harry, still back a ways?
I just realized that I have a lot in flee, so I could be closer and just dip whenever I need to. So
Yeah.
maybe I am actually. I'll hang by Woodrow, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So you two, you're kind of back. Sarah's up. This guy goes, just kind of looks at you and points and goes, Strauss, and points at the pocket doors. Elena.
The pocket doors.
Yeah, the pocket doors. There's a room clearly with the doors that go into the wall and then.
Oh, okay.
Go
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
That's-
yeah. Got it. I don't think I understood.
And you
that
can
term.
hear some like noise from there. There's clearly some people in there. There's the sound of chairs scooting and that kind of thing right
Yeah.
now.
So I think I just like tell me if I can. I just want to like kick him in the knee to kind of like not like permanently injure him or anything, but just like make it so that he can't immediately easily follow me. Just like give him a little pain there.
I think that's going to be melee if you want to keep him out of the situation.
Oh, it's not worth it. I think I'm just gonna like shove him back and drop him, and then walk through those pocket doors like I own the place.
Okay. So yeah, you drop him. He's getting to his feet. You'll see that, Sarah. He looks at you, Sarah, and kind of the doorman kind of gestures for you, like stay back, young lady, kind of thing, with his hand. Just I don't know what's going on here. Kind of sees that there's some other people outside, and doorman's gesturing like, hang on, we're going to get this taken care of. And he is going over to a side table in the hallway.
If I could interrupt, so this guy that this doorman that Elena kind of sort of beat up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the way I want to play this is I want to go up to him and just kind of like make a big fuss. Oh, my dear, are you all right? Oh, please, let me help you. And I like, try to make a big fuss over like completely ineffectually helping him when I'm really just getting in his way.
Absolutely. Then I think you're kind of getting in his way as he's trying to get this drawer open to get the revolver out. You'll throw those doors open, Elena, and you will see that there are there's a table with a shawl over it. There are various candles lit in here. The lighting is dimmed. There are books around here, and there are a set of 3 people who are seated across from Strauss, who kind of stood up like, what's all of this hullabaloo? And Strauss is standing up, kind of looks, and Elena, Strauss clearly knows who you are. Like his eyes get wide, like in that, oh, this is not good. What do you do, Elena? There are 4 people in here. So none of them look like they're fighters.
I ignore them entirely.
Mm-hmm.
I walk up to him, not quickly, not slowly, but deliberately, in that kind of like, I think I'm kind of in my like mob enforcer mode, which is the kind of job I've occasionally done.
Yes.
Not my main line of criminal activity, but like I walk, I control the room, and I put my fingers like right there, right in that notch in his collarbone, and I just sort of like, no pain. It's not to cause pain. It's just like like a domination kind of move almost, right?
Yeah.
And I say, you're going to answer some questions for me, Mr. Strauss.
You've got him pushed. You've got him pushed back. The people who are in there will go to leave. They don't want to be part of this, but they're like, "Oh, we'll call the police," and they go rushing out into the hall. So let Woodrow, Harry, you will see these people come out. A young woman and two middle-aged men, and they come rushing out of that room, and are clearly making to go down the stairs. Maybe they'll call the authorities, maybe they won't. Are you stopping them? Are you letting them go? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna step up and say, hey, there's no need for this panic. And I'm gonna like try to, like, I'm like kind of blocking them physically, but I'm not gonna like actually block them. I'm just kind of stepping in their way, and then I'm gonna be like, don't worry, it's just a misunderstanding between, it's family things. Strauss.
So
family.
how do you want to play this? Is this an interpersonal investigative spend to kind of hold them, or do you think it's athletics to kind of block them off? What do you want?
Interpersonal.
Okay.
I'm going to, but they're like rich, right? So I can't do my credit rating spend. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can.
Oh, I can. Oh, okay.
You have a credit rating of 4, so you look like you have some money.
I do.
Yeah, so they will listen to you.
Yeah, so, and I think I'm gonna come in very like I'm one of you. I know what's going on. I'm a rich white guy. You can trust me.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. There's a white guy who seems to know what he's doing, and that they hover around you like, oh, she looks very ethnic, and and they're like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and they're trying to get information, from you, but they'll hover around and won't go and call the cops.
Yeah, I'll spend.
Yeah,
that
one
and
spend
I'll be like,
will hold them. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start talking about, there seem to be interested in these things, but Strauss, he's also interested in a lot of antiques recently. Are you interested in antiques?
Oh yeah, they are. They will say, oh yeah, we are expert dabblers in the occult. They have Mark written all over them.
Excellent. So I am engaged in business.
Okay, yeah, you should. You're familiar with these things. You know how these things work, and blah 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 blah. You've got them held. Woodrow, what are you doing while this is going on?
I guess looks like Harry's got that. I'm just gonna slip around the corner and see if I can just go in myself.
Oh yeah, you can step on up. You see that Sarah's kind of tangled up with this doorman, who is kind of trying to get at this little hallway table to get the drawer open right now.
And Sarah is in no way letting him get that drawer open.
How do you want to do that? Does this feel like, is this filch? Is this athletics? What do you think it is to kind of like block here, Sarah?
I don't know that there's a gun in there, but I'm guessing that's probably what he's going for.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I guess I could really up this. Let's see. Initially, initially my tack was to basically try to make a big fuss to try to like take care and comfort this guy, like oh my, what is going on? Are you all right? Are you all right? Just kind of as a big distraction, and also to interfere with him like doing anything. But if I see that he's actually going for the gun, I'm going to try to beat him to it.
Okay. Then I think that's athletics or filch, either one.
Let's go with filch.
Okay.
So what is the target I'm looking for?
Well, I'm going to find out here. Let's see here.
Either way, I'm going to spend 2 points because that's all the points I have to spend.
Yeah, my difficulty, my roll is a total is a 3, so difficulty is 3.
Okay. Okay, so I'm spending 2 points. And I got a 3.
Okay. So right now you're kind of tied with him. So there is that thing where he goes to open the drawer. And it comes open and you'll see the revolver in there. And I think that you both kind of go for it. He's surprised that you go for it. And I think right now, neither of you have a hold of it. He doesn't, but neither do you. Woodrow, let me get, since you'll see that, let me get what you're doing and then we'll come back to Elena.
Yeah. Is there a way I can like assist Sarah or, or either that or try to grab it myself?
Absolutely. Filch or athletics, either one. Difficulty is 3, so you need to beat a 3 to get a hold of it.
No, I guess I'm going to blow both the big points I have in athletics here.
Oh, yes. I mean, okay.
So I guess I still roll 6 plus 2. And I got a 5.
Yeah. So as this doorman and Sarah are kind of he doesn't want to push a woman back. He's a big guy and he's underestimating her. So he's kind of tangled up, and then your hand just darts in, and suddenly you've got the revolver, and that will cause him to stop like making a fuss. Like as soon as the gun is out and pointed at him, he is not paid enough to tangle with a gun pointed at him. So that his hands will cartoonishly go up quickly. And Elena, the room has been cleared. You've got Strauss up against the wall, finger on collarbone.
Yeah, and I think I say start talking, Strauss. You know more about this than you're letting on. I don't know why you tried to send us off like you're hunting dogs, but well, we're back here now. We want to know things. I think this is another intimidation.
Yeah, definitely. So he's
kind of
like
a one-trick pony.
He says, Dad, wait. This was a mistake. This is all a mistake.
That's clear.
Yes. It's look. I thought a problem needed to be solved. As it turns out, it did not need to be. A situation, it was not as I thought it was.
So tell me how it is.
No. But allow me to say, I have the rest of your retainer and then some. I can hand that to you, can pay you, and we can consider this matter closed.
Oh, we'll take the money, but it's too late for that.
What do you want?
What happened with Hurt?
That is the task that I sent you to.
You say the problem. You say the
listen,
situation changed. You say the problem was resolved. Tell me how.
I thought that Hurt was a problem for my friends, associates of mine, but when I later spoke with them, they said that it was not an issue, and that involving outsiders was a mistake.
And they are name, Strauss, name. Again, jabbing.
Harry, you're still kind of tangled up. Do you want to? These people are calmed down. Do you want to send them on their way? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They seem reassured. But there's a white dude here. He's going to handle the situation, and they will they will, doff their hats and head off, and you can move inside. Woodrow, Sarah, how are you handling this doorman?
Well, I think maybe we just motion him over inside and we all go in, kind of leading him before us.
Okay. Yeah.
That's pretty much exactly what I was going to suggest.
Yeah, and I think there is that moment when you come in with the doorman at gunpoint, set him down in a chair, that Strauss kind of realized that whatever support he might have is gone. Harry, you come in, and Strauss will say, I have very wealthy friends, and I had been talking with young Master Hurt for some time, for the last couple of years. He's a precocious young man, more precocious than perhaps I gave him credit for. And I had thought that he would be a excellent recruit for a gathering of like-minded esoterists that I happen to be among. But Hurt took advantage of my generosity, and I knew that he had been looking into investigating other matters, another occult group in the city, and I thought that was the limits of what he was investigating. But in fact, he not only stole things from them, as I understand it, but from my peers and
your nameless peers.
Exactly. And my peers are very wealthy and very powerful, and I thought to find Hurt before the situation got out of hand, which is why I had my late associate put you on retainer. But when I spoke to my peers, they were wroth, especially when they found out that the gentleman had given up my name to you.
These friends of yours, they were not expatriates from a certain they were not expatriates from a certain like a certain area of Asia Minor?
No.
I X card that.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
Okay.
But I think you allude to that cult, I assume.
Yeah, I was trying. Basically,
Yeah.
I was trying. Sorry, I was trying to be oblique and refer to people from Turkey.
I think that's fair. I think
that was the thing I was X carding.
Sure.
To be clear, that whole.
He will say, my peers are very wealthy, very powerful people, and indicate their displeasure to me, which is why I was hoping that I would have a chance to speak with you again, so that I could pay you for your time and send you on your way with this issue resolved.
Of course, the question is still, what has become of Mr. Hurt?
I suspect that Mr. Hurt has shuffled off this mortal coil at this point, and so further investigation will do no one any good.
I want to give other people a chance to act, but I have a thought if no one else does. No, Woodrow, you're here in the room. Is there anything?
Yeah, I mean, I just would probably ask, like, your rich friends wouldn't happen to be the Humboldts, would they?
And that'll drain the color from his face. If they were, then I certainly would hold my tongue on that point, and I would certainly suggest to anyone who were interested in this that they are dangerous people to tangle with, and that might suggest that they cease this particular line of investigation. Look, you have no skin in this game. The young man is gone. He crossed a number of people. It was a mistake to hire you. I can make it worth your time simply to drop all of this.
I think I turn to Sarah, Woodrow, and Harry. Did you come in, or are you still outside?
I'm strolling in slowly.
Yeah. I think I turn to the three of them and say, we should take what we want. And I start pulling out, I have like a bag over my shoulder, and I reach in and I start pulling out dynamite and sort of placing it in corners around and then we can, leave a mess for our friend Mr. Strauss to clean up.
Look, how much do you want?
Whatever you have here, we can take. You're not in a position to bargain here.
And
I just to step out of character for a second. Right. I think what Elena is thinking is that rich people care more about their property than their health in a lot of cases. And if he's offering us lots of money, it's because he can just give us lots of money and it won't hurt him much. Right. But if I threaten to actually destroy his most valuable assets, then maybe he'll be a little bit more pliable.
A bit more forthcoming with the information that we're seeking.
And specifically the thing I'm gonna push for after I say that, Lowell, is I'm gonna say, what I want for you to do is arrange a meeting with your friends, the Humboldts. One where we have them at an advantage. Maybe you could bring them over here now. Call them up. And this is definitely an intimidation attempt, but it's a little wild. So
and
I don't know.
He says, I cannot interrupt him right now in the middle, and he trails off.
In the middle of what? What are they doing?
They are in the middle of a ceremony.
And what is this ceremony supposed to do?
Where is it? In the Coleman building?
Like, he visibly winces back when you say that. Yes, in the Coleman building,
Prof.
but I am not privy to those innermost secrets.
Prof, are you ready to scale a building again?
Oh, I guess so. So much for getting over my fear of heights.
And I think Mr. Strauss should come with us to make an introduction.
And so I think you can grab him and
We
drag him.
still have that. We still have that gun.
Yes,
Yeah. I pick up the dynamite that I had started to distribute around the room.
he seems greatly relieved. The doorman goes, I'll just stay here, okay?
Did he give us any of the cash he owes us?
No, you've been pushing him.
I think I grabbed something that looks valuable off one of the shelves and put it in the doorman's hand.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Let's take our first break here, and then we'll cut forward to the Coleman building. So we're going to take up outside the Coleman building. At this point, night has fallen. And you can see that there's still that work, like fencing around. You can see that there are a couple of guards on the grounds. You had noted this before when you investigated. However, you will note that there are illumination lights up at the top where the scaffolding is that you were up at before. You don't see people necessarily up there, but they've definitely got some lights arranged. As you may recall, this is like a 12-story building. The top couple of floors are where they haven't quite finished. But you will see, despite curtains to kind of conceal, you can see where there are lines of light that not at that tip-top floor, but the couple of floors below where Woodrow, Harry, when you walk through, you would have seen there was that sort of large open area floor, like probably around the 10th floor, almost like a big ballroom thing. Judging by the light coming through the gate, there must be something going on at that level. And Strauss is looking peaked, let us say, having been dragged along by all of you.
And as we approach this building, I looked to Elena and I said, when this is all done, I think this might be a better target for those charges of yours.
I sort of smile at that and say, maybe I should lay them now. And I think like, are there guards around the periphery?
So what we've got is there's a construction site.
Right.
And there's a fence around that, and there are a couple of guards who are kind of walking patrol out there because they had break-ins earlier.
Right. Mm-hmm. Then I frown and say, maybe not.
Maybe we could distract the guards and sneak in when their attention is elsewhere.
Such as? How?
By having drinks bought for them. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Do I have preparedness? Can I spend preparedness?
Yeah, or I think you can walk down the street to a bar or a liquor store and drop some money and
All night liquor store. They
Yes.
liquor, like this is well past prohibition.
yeah. So how do you want to play this, Harry? You can easily get the booze you require.
Yeah,
do?
I'm gonna walk over and say, fellas, I see everyone's been working hard for, well, let's see, what are their names again? What is the name of the people? Oh, the Humboldt, yes.
So they'll nod, like you drop the name, and they kind of get a little more to attention,
Yeah,
so they can, definitely, they've clearly, you'd guess, like they've probably seen at least one Humboldt come through tonight, and they're like, oh, yep, absolutely, yes.
well, Mr. Humboldt has seen the kind of work you've been putting into this, and well, just wanted to give y'all a little something.
Oh. And so my understanding is, I think you're attempting to use flattery to draw their attention away here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flattery into imbibing.
Absolutely. You kind of come over here. I'll give you, I'll pour you drinks kind of thing here. It's cold out, or it's a little too warm out, here.
Yeah. Refreshing drink.
Absolutely. And you've dropped, and you make that spend on flattery, and they will absolutely do it. You've dropped the name. So yeah, Harry moves these couple of guards away from the gates. The gates are not locked because they clearly have people going in and out. So I don't even think it's a stealth roll for the three of you to slide in.
I would like to say that as I am now pouring drinks for these people and kind of like pretending to drink as well, I would like to like turn around and wink at the rest of the gang.
Absolutely, they can get inside. Harry seems to have it in control. Harry, it would be no problem if you wanted to follow your compatriots in to go, well, I should be going, and walk on in. Or,
I suppose I will.
Leaving the bottle behind, of course.
I feel like at this moment, I see Prof. I see Elena, who Prof has said something about her being in danger, and I'm like, sometimes being too good a man is a curse, and I'll walk in with the rest of everyone.
So you walk in behind well after the others have gone in. Harry, Woodrow, Sarah, you'll make your way into the sort of first floor. There's a big unfurnished entry hall. Go inside. You can see that this will be pretty magnificent, but you can also feel how haunted and unpleasant this building is already. Here it is at night. You're walking in here. You can feel the energy of this place. Some of the like stonework on the wall is clearly kind of made like they've got slabs to make it look like, how they take like fossilized sections of stone and put them on things as kind of decorative here. It's a little like that, but I think Sarah, you and Elena, who know what these things are, can recognize that these are, put together bricks, almost kind of a mosaic of bits from that building in Red Hook. You will see that there is a functioning elevator. Looks like the other elevators have signs on them that of the other two are essentially marked with, under construction. The doors are probably still open. There's nothing in there, but one of them is clearly powered, and you can see that the elevator is up at the 10th floor
So I guess the question is, do we want to take the elevator? Would they notice that someone summoned the elevator to the ground floor?
I will take the elevator, as these arms are not made for climbing. But please.
Well, I was going to suggest the stairs, but okay. Let's take the elevator.
Out of character, I don't know if we should all go in together. But if you want us to just like rise up together, that's also fine.
What is the play? I hear elevator from Harry, Sarah.
I think Sarah is more inclined to take the stairs.
Stairs from Sarah. Woodrow?
Yeah, I think stairs.
Okay.
And then I look at them and I look at Harry. I sort of like look up at the height of the building and I follow Harry into the elevator.
Okay. Woodrow, Sarah, you two start making your way up the stairs. Harry, Elena, you push the button and you will hear this like kind of grinding noise. And then hear the sound of the elevator descending. And it comes down not particularly speedily. These are not the eras of high-speed elevators. It descends slowly. And when it opens up, you will see that it is very much temporary elevator. It is a wooden box, effectively, with a screen on it and some metal framing here. And kind of step in here and realize probably just how precarious these kinds of things are, especially as temporary as something like this is. There's the bit where you go to like pull the metal grate door shut, and then the elevator starts to rise, and then it stops because it's rattling and the light goes off and you're in this blackness, and you realize that you have to like move the little grate over to get the little electrical connection going to get the fit, and you got to kind of hold that in place. And I have been in this elevator, and it is truly terrifying when it just stops for no reason.
Yeah, I am completely pale and like kind of sweaty with fear. Yeah, really regretting my decision, but like, well, these things, yeah, they do get temperamental, don't they, Elena?
Yeah, I kind of grunt and hold on one second. Yeah, I kind of like grunt and say something I wanted to say. Yes, these, especially in the construction sites, they don't. And can I use a craft spend to do like a technical kind of thump?
Yeah, to what end? What is it you want?
Oh, I want to get the elevator going again.
Okay, absolutely. Make that spend.
And it's like the Fonzie jukebox thing is what I'm going for here.
Yeah. Get it set, get it a little more so it doesn't feel like it's so much kind of out of alignment.
Yeah, it's like, like I imagine that like this is, I know nothing about how elevators work, but like, it's like a little bit and the elevator cable is like trying to pull at an angle it can't really pull. I imagine we're hearing like a grinding sound that's very uncomfortable, and I just kind of like knock, 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 knock to try and find the spot, and I go, bleh. Probably freaking Harry out a bunch.
Absolutely. Can I get it? So it shifts a little bit back into its lane, and then it'll go up still slowly, but smoothly. You hold it in place so the lights don't go out, so it doesn't stop again. Woodrow, Sarah, you two will find your way to the stairs. These are the base stairs. They haven't laid in the marble toppings or anything like that. They've poured some concrete in places. It's this weird finished, unfinished building. And you will start, like, what kind of pace are you taking, you think? You jogging up the stairs? You walking quickly? You walking carefully?
I think Sarah initially was going to take it fairly briskly, but then when she realizes that these stairs are uneven and not fully, like parts of them are finished, parts of them are unfinished, some of them are uneven, I think she's going to slow down her pace and take them fairly carefully.
And
and she points at that, like, watch your step, Woodrow. These looks like these stairs looks like they're only half completed.
As you move up, the other thing, of course, is that there's not all that much light in these stairways. There's not that much light on in these buildings. So what light you're getting are, a little bit of starlight coming in through windows, and maybe a kind of single construction bulb hung along here. And as you move up floor after floor, the building itself, the stairwell itself, like, you feel it change, like, throughout as you walk up. And by the time you're maybe halfway up, you're hearing other things in the stairwell, and maybe murmurs and voices and things. And, each time you get to a floor and kind of look in the hall into the thing, you will start to see shapes moving past. And
I think I'm going to pull a flashlight out of my bag and turn it on.
Oh,
do I need to make a preparedness check for that, or
absolutely.
What is the target I'm looking for?
Oh, I think that's a 3 for that. That's no problem.
Okay. Well, I want to make sure it actually happens, so I'm going to spend 2 points of preparedness.
Okay.
And that's 4.
Yeah, you've got a decent flashlight here. Woodrow, your foot comes down on something that kind of gives under your shoe with kind of a crunch. And you're there. We're again floor 7 out of 10. And there'll be that moment when that flashlight comes down, and you will see that there are a set of hands. One of them that you've stepped on, and another 3 that have grabbed on to the hem of your pants and are grabbing and trying to climb up. Would you please mark a stability? What do you do?
I think I'm just going to say, Sarah, help, and I'll just try and like shake him off me or pull him off me.
Okay. I think that's fleeing or athletics to escape, like knock them off before they can grab and fasten onto you.
Yeah, I'll do fleeing. I think I'll spend 2.
Difficulty 3.
I'll spend 2. I'll roll back. And I got a 6.
Oh yeah.
So
So Sarah, you'll turn the flashlight up. You see these severed hands climbing up Woodrow's leg. Please mark its stability. Flashlight illuminates all. And Woodrow kicks them away. And you kind of look down the hall on this floor. And have you ever seen those nature documentaries where like there are crabs on the beach and at first you can't quite realize, you think it's maybe the sand is kind of moving oddly, and then you realize, no, that's like a wave of crabs. That's what
Imagine
you
that,
see.
but imagine that, but hands.
Yes.
Ah.
And they are definitely, there's this weird swarm of them roiling up to where you and Woodrow are here on the 7th floor landing.
And they're coming from the 7th. They're coming from like the
Out,
7th
pouring
floor.
out from the 7th floor towards you.
I think we need to beat feet to outrun these hands and like book it up.
Athletics are fleeing to pull you and Woodrow up out of here before this wave can get its palms on you.
Got it. I'm gonna go with fleeing.
Okay.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is 4 because there is a mass of them.
Okay, I am going to spend 3 points of fleeing. And I got a 5.
Okay, so grab Woodrow. You two start booking up the stairs, despite the unevenness, despite the unfinishedness, despite there being no rail on the side of any of these. And I think there'll be one glance behind you as you see them kind of pouring off and falling down. And even as they fall, they vanish as they're falling down into that stairwell pit. And they're phantasmal. Even as you move away, as your mind's eye can't look at them anymore, they're vanishing.
Oh, they weren't really there. Ooh, that was disturbing. You saw that too, didn't you, Woodrow?
I wish I didn't, but I did.
I'm glad I'm not losing my mind.
Kind of moving up, getting at those next things. It's almost like the darkness is deeper each flight of stairs that you go up as you make your way up. And maybe it ought to be cooler up here. You'd expect to get a little bit higher up, maybe wind coming through here, but it's not. It's like it gets more humid, more sweltery up here as you move up. Harry and Elena, you're going up. If you've ever been in a real old elevator, you're like, well, I could have easily walked faster than this. Kind of goes up, the mechanism is going. But there is this moment when you're maybe 2/3 the way up that your ears pop. That sort of sudden kind of crackle pop that ought to clear your ears, but instead kind of feels a little bit gummy, almost like you're a little bit underwater when that happens. And you get that thing with your jaw where you're kind of, as you move it, you kind of hear like a little bit of the inside of your ear shifting there. And then there's a ding. And the elevator comes to a stop. And you have to manually pull the thing open. So you've got a moment. You're just going to throw that open, Elena?
I think I grip it, and then I look at Harry, and I say, "So we're going out there."
Do you think there's a way you can do it quietly?
Do I think there's a way I can do it quietly? I can try. Is there a way for me to mechanically, a way for me to attempt to do this quietly? I imagine what I'm doing in fiction is sort of like doing it very slowly, trying to make sure that the wheels on the track don't squeak too much, that the joints don't creak, or if they do, it's very slow and quiet, so it's not like a loud all at once noise.
I don't think that matters, given how much that ship has sailed with the sound of the elevator already.
Fair. I'm going to try to do it anyway, but we
Okay.
won't roll.
I won't roll, but I think you'll kind of start to pull it open quietly. And we get kind of opens up out into very much this will be a ballroom one day. There's a lot of bits set to the walls. There's a lot of the stonework taken from the other building that's been set up here. There is a floor that's laid that you can see. There are markings on it. But then, of course, this opens up out into the sky. Like we get ballroom kind of finished, and then it opens up because there's no next level. And we get those girders. And there are those sort of workman stairs from here up to that span that Woodrow and Harry saw before. But you will see that in here, there are a group of people, and there are maybe a dozen, with that other guy, that guy who's at the head of it, that makes it 13. And they are wearing robes, except for the leader, the guy who's kind of at the head of it, who's kind of standing there. You can see that there is a dais in front of him, like a table that's been brought. And you can see that it looks like from here, almost from this distance, looks like maybe a phrenology skull, like a head, or one of the psychological, areas of the brain kind of bust that's in front of him. But there are a number of these people in robes who have been waiting for the elevator. And it comes open. Elena, you are opening it quietly. So what do they see? Do they see Harry? Do they see Elena? What do they see when the elevator comes open?
Well, if I'm opening it slowly and quietly, I think kind of what happens is I'm pulling it slowly, so it just opens about this much. And what they kind of see is my face, probably, and they can't see right into the elevator.
Absolutely.
They see sort of this, broad face, kind of just in that, 5-6 inches of open door. And yeah,
there's the elevator light kind of illuminates that, and I think you'll see 2 pistols come up, and that's the point at which they're going to put some shots into this elevator. So let's get the framework here. Sarah, Woodrow, you've hit that sort of top landing of the stairs. You're in a different side. If we imagine that they're on the east wall where the elevators come up, then let's say you're sort of coming up from a set of stairs on the south. So you have a different line of sight on this. You see what they see, and you can see there are a couple of people there that have guns out that are just now firing into the elevator. Their attention is on that. So kind of tell me what you want to do, and then I'm going to come to Harry, see what Harry's doing, and then we'll resolve these gunshots. Woodrow, what are you doing when you hit the landing and see this?
Well, I do have a gun. By the way, where's Stralis? Did we take him, or is he in the elevator, or did we leave him downstairs?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think
I totally forgot about Strauss.
I think that it's absolutely applicable that Strauss is in the elevator so that he is collateral damage when these bullets go firing.
Well, I see this happening. I guess just my instinct is to shoot at them myself. I now have a gun, so
Okay.
why not?
Then let's have you make a firearms roll.
Okay.
Essentially, I assume you're shooting at one of these gunmen.
Yep.
Yeah. It only looks like they've got a couple people with guns here.
I guess I'm going to spend 2 points.
Okay. Difficulty is 3.
Okay. So that should work, hopefully. I got a total of 6.
6. And so go ahead and roll me a D6 plus 3 for the damage.
Oops. Sorry. Well, I didn't get the 3 on.
But so 6 points. So
Yeah.
you will shoot and drop one of these guys. Of the 2 gunmen, like the second they're firing into the elevator, your gunshot will hit one of them and they'll drop, and attention suddenly from the room. Sarah, what are you doing?
Myself. So Woodrow has definitely gotten their attention by like firing at them. I'm going to take out my camera with a with like the big flash bulb, and I'm going to take a picture of them. Poof.
Okay. So I'll say that you can definitely like make it more difficult for the other people to see exactly what's going on over here. Does that seem fair?
That's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah.
Was I was, because it's dark in here, I was hoping I would between the gunshots, between the muzzle flashes of the pistols, like a big bright flash bulb in a dark room. If anyone was looking in our direction, they're probably going to be temporarily blinded.
Absolutely. So Elena, I need normally a 4 to hit you because you're athletics, a 5 because of cover. So I'm going to take a couple shots at you.
Fun times.
Okay. So we'll say these plus 2. So one of them will hit you.
Sure.
For 3 points of damage.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the only part of me that's really exposed is my head. So I think it probably like grazes by, maybe takes off part of my ear.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably really
oh yeah, those kind of wounds bleed a lot.
Yeah, really bloody and painful, but not like debilitating in that way.
I can't imagine the other thing is I can't imagine that the elevator door is terribly sturdy. Those bullets could just punch right through the door.
Yeah.
So
depending on what they're firing.
For 3 points of damage, you said?
Yes. Harry, you hear and you see Strauss grab his midsection and start to crumble, and you see a blood coming off of Elena, and you hear gunshots and then other gunshots and then a flash. What do you do? You're in an elevator.
I'm gonna drop to my knees and start crawling out of the elevator.
Okay.
Hopefully, I would love to flee.
Perfect. Yeah, you want to get out of here and get across the room to some kind of cover.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's difficulty 4 given the circumstances.
I will spend 3, I guess. That
Okay.
means that. Yes.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll, because if you beat it by 4 or more, you get a benefit.
Okay.
You just make it. So I think we see you run, and you see like a stacked up a pile of bags of concrete.
Nice.
And you'll drop behind that as that occurs. So let's swing back up to the top. Elena, you kind of pull back. You see Harry go whoop, 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 and past you into the room. But some of these cultists who are in there are blinded by the flash. I actually should probably put in the picture of Humboldt, just so we have that in here. I'll grab the NPCs tab. Let me put that in. Insert image and so from file. Characters.
Well, quick question. Looking at the NPCs tab,
Yeah.
that woman with no name, she was like the leader of the 1,000 hand people that we
Yes.
saw in the. Okay.
Yeah. And there is the picture of Arthur Humboldt. Only one not in any kind of cloak. Elena, what do you want to do?
So yeah, I think I'm like at first I sort of like grab at my ear, and then I look down at poor dead Strauss, and Jesse likes Jesse's clever idea, but Elena is not that clever, I think. So I think I'm going to follow up on Mike's idea, which is a little bit more in character.
Okay.
But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach into that bag and grab a stick of dynamite.
Okay.
And a lighter.
All right. And this feels like
so I'm not prepared to actually like blow up this whole. Well, am I? You know what? I think I am. I think I light it and toss it right at Humboldt, over those people who are right in front of me.
Okay. So let's see. I think that's athletics. Oh wait, you have explosives. You may use explosives.
I have a lot of explosives. Yeah, what's the target number here?
So you're under fire. Because there's still a guy with a gun.
Oh yeah.
You've had this flash, not very good lighting, to get it to where you really want it, like right by Humboldt, is 6. But a 4 or 5 will also be reasonably in the area.
Right. And like thinking about my goal here, I'm not really sure my goal is, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Cause chaos. I actually don't think I throw it right at Humboldt. I think I want to throw it like just close enough that it will cause chaos, without necessarily like hurting
people. Okay.
Now,
so
I don't mind hurting people, but I think I want information from these people and stuff from these people. And if I blow it up, I won't get it.
Difficulty 5, then, let's say.
Yeah. And I'm just going to spend, I don't know, let's say 4+ gets me some kind of a benefit, right?
Yeah. I mean, and what are the odds that you're going to need more explosives after this? Not too much.
So I'm not going to spend all 8 that I need, because, let's let the dice roll matter for something. I'm going to spend 7.
Okay.
And if I get a 2 or more, then I get the 4+. Right? That math is right. I'm bad at math.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's a 6. So I got a 13.
I think that they're like, you can drop it right in the middle, which will, when it goes up and you've set the short fuse on it,
blow a hole in the floor.
It will crack that floor, and it will send at least 4 of these guys falling to the next floor. And I will say another 2 that are up here are just flat knocked unconscious by that.
Yeah, I grab another one and say, we can play nicely.
Well, you should hang on. Let's have other people act, and then we'll come back to you on that. Woodrow, there's boom, guys fall through, couple unconscious. There's still the leader plus another 5 guys, 1 guy with a gun. And now there's smoke and cinder. And when the particulates from that explosion catch into the air, the dust from this building, when it kind of catches into your mouth and it hurts. What do you do, Woodrow?
I think I'm, initially trying to take cover, and then I suspect I've got like my handkerchief over my mouth and I'm just trying to breathe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you shooting? Are you trying to get to a particular position?
Yeah, I guess since there's a dude with a gun, I'll try and shoot at him too.
Absolutely. So the number to hit him is normally a 3. I think with situational difficulties, it's probably a 4.
Okay, I'm gonna spend 2 again. So roll that.
Oh yeah. And roll me a d6 for the damage. So you will wing him, and since you're less interested in damage, I think like that forces him down. Like he has to kind of drop to take cover at that point. He may be on the other side of the set of concrete cement bags from Harry at that point. Sarah, flash has gone off. So many people are still blinking their eyes, trying to get acclimated. There's been this explosion.
I just think because I just think for cinematic reasons, I think the explosion probably knocked her off her feet. She's now kind of scrambling for like whatever cover she can get. But she's also got her camera out. She's actually at this point interested in getting actual photographs of who these people are.
Sure. I think as you kind of stand up with your camera, if you want to make a photography spend to get good shots of this,
I will do that. I make a photography spend.
Absolutely. You will see that Humboldt is still standing where he was. There's dust on him, but otherwise he looks unfazed. And he is reaching forward and picking up what you now will recognize is that thing that you saw the picture of, that skull made of hands, of that big head sculpture made of different hands interwoven, the fingers interlaced. He has that in front of him, what was referred to as the chronochorazon.
That thing's not creepy at all.
But you can get yourself to cover, no problem. Got the photographs, got cover. What are you doing, Harry?
Okay, I do. I want to clarify like what the situation is.
Sure.
I'm behind some bags.
Yeah.
Of concrete. Where is everyone else situated in relation to me?
So big ballroom. You've kind of gone off from the elevator doors to where these concrete cement bags are, kind of gotten cover. There's another one of these cultists who's, a little ways down from that, also hiding. Elena has kind of stepped in, thrown the dynamite, and is pretty much still there by the elevator doors. Woodrow has kind of moved to get a little bit of cover and is still taking shots. Sarah, you can see, you're mostly seeing her by the sort of the top of the stairs, by the flash bulbs going off as she kind of fires them and changes them quickly. There are 4 of these cultists who are still kind of up and moving, plus Humboldt.
I also see Humboldt like reaching for this thing, right?
Yeah.
I would very much like to sneak over and steal it because I have filch. So that's
All right.
so I'm like, oh.
So you've got two choices here.
Mhm.
On the one hand, there's stealth, which means you spend, and I'll let you make a stealth roll to get up there and be completely unnoticed. And then you can try and take it from him. Or you can rush up and just do the filch and try and get it away from him. And he will definitely see you, but you'll have hands on if you succeed. What would you like?
Oh, that's such a good like hard choices. Ooh. I think I want to just rush up and grab it. I feel like how I'm justifying this in the narrative is that like I see this thing and there's something about like the way that I reacted when I first saw that that vase before that was like what really drew me to the occult. And I see this like creepy ass thing and somehow it like draws me in the same way. And I'm like, I have to have it. And I forget the fact that, you know, there's like
Oh, yeah.
a shootout going on.
Let's have you roll filch.
Yeah. Okay.
Difficulty 4.
Difficulty 4. I will spend I feel like I want to spend. Wait, what is the thing that would get me more? Is
So the
there...
difficulty is 4. So if you were to get a total of 8, you would get a benefit.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, then I'm gonna spend all of my filch, which is 5. So.
Okay. Then roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to rob.
Look at you. Tell me what that looks like when you snatch that away from him.
Oh, yeah. It is. Oh, I wish I watched sports. I feel like this is like one of those moments where, like, just as he's about to reach it, I just like, oh, I tackle him out of the way.
Absolutely. Kind of knock him back. He's solid. And I think it's as much as anything is like just the force of you kind of pushes between him and this thing. And like that, this is unexpected. This came out of nowhere. And you get your hands on this. And then you immediately like realize that even as you're kind of moved away and you're holding this thing, it almost feels like your hands are about to detach from your body. So I'd like you to take a stability, but they don't come off now because you rolled so well. And you are well away, like you've gotten some space between Humboldt and you, and he is stunned by this. Let's come back to Elena first, I think, and then to Woodrow. Elena, you see this happen.
Yeah. I think I see this happen, and I look.
Smoke, dust, debris,
smoke,
coughing.
dust. I'm like bleeding from one side of my head.
Yeah.
Right. I look probably terrifying, and right. And Harry's being a badass. Right. And Woodrow's got his gun out. Sarah, flash. Right. It's like chaos and violence. And, you know, I feel like I'm back. I feel like I'm back in the revolution again. Right. And I just shout, I mean, just lean in. You've already lost, imperialist scum. Let us go with whatever it is he took, and we won't take the building down with you in it. And I hold that I hold the match I hold the match close to the stick of dynamite and say, and there's a fuse down at the bottom I can light to take you. It'll take everyone with us. Take the whole place down.
So
I don't know what this is. I can't
that-
push for intimidation. I'm out of those points. So
so let's see here. What is going to be appropriate? Do you want to make you're out completely from your interpersonal, aren't you?
oh yeah, no, because all I do is intimidate people.
Then I think I want you to make this with an explosives roll to demonstrate your sincerity here.
Yeah, I mean,
and do this in a way that doesn't like accidentally light this short fuse on fire.
yeah, sure. What's the target number?
Let's say right now with all this craziness, a 5.
So in that case, I might as well spend let's guarantee it. I'm gonna spend 4.
Okay.
Keep the 1 I have. Keep 1 just in case.
Let's have you roll.
Yep. And that's a 4 plus 4 is 8.
8. And I think that all of the cultists, like they're running for cover. They're running away. Like this freaks them out. This does. And Humble turns and looks at you, and he says, "Do it," and starts walking towards you.
Yeah, I do it.
So let's come to what Sarah, what are you doing?
So
Can I just interrupt.
Oh,
So that was a success, and the success was he's like pushing my buttons, and he's like, "You want to do it? Do it."
Oh yeah, all the others are you've gotten
Got
all
it.
the cultists cleared. Like they're all like there are no other threats besides this
Yeah.
guy at this point.
I'm not complaining. I just wanted clarification.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I want to make
that's
that clear.
awesome, and I love it.
Yeah.
So Elena's. So all the
Elena
cultists have
Elena
scattered.
literally and figuratively has blood in her eye.
And it looks like she's actually going to like light her pack of dynamite on to set the whole damn thing off.
You don't know whether she had time to set charges on the building. In fact, you're pretty certain she didn't. However, that is pretty much a live stick of dynamite in her hand, and you know that she has more in her bag.
I am tempted to. I am tempted to rush Humboldt and like try to like knock him down the hole in the floor.
Interesting. Do you want to try and do that?
Yeah, what the hell? Let's go for it.
Run across here. Okay. So you have to run towards him, hit him from the blind side, knock him down.
I want to specifically. I want to try to. Basically, I want to throw him into that hole that was blasted in the floor. So we
let's have you roll melee.
Okay, what's my target?
I think a 5 right now with who he is and what's going on.
Okay, I'm going to spend all of my melee.
Okay. In that case, just don't roll the 1.
Yep. Ooh, and I rolled a 5.
Look at that. So he's stepping forward. He says, "Do it." And you can see on Elena's face, like she is going to, but then you hit him and you send him flying down to that next level there. He'll crash onto the floor below, and you don't go over the edge. But you can see him land, and like when he's kind of rolls up, it's almost like like his skin is kind of shifting, like he kind of has to get it back into place. Woodrow, you see that. Elena, do it. Elena raises the match, and then boom, Sarah knocks Humboldt off onto the next floor. You look around. You see Harry has this thing and is clearly not happy holding it. You see there are other cultists up here. And I think you probably also see that kind of glint of light from above where that vision was, where that span was, like that gate was up those stairs to the top level there. What do you do, Woodrow?
I think I'm gonna run up to get a better look at the light.
Okay, rush up to the stairs, and you can see that what Harry kind of described to you before, what you kind of saw, there is definitely a doorway. It's almost like whatever ritual was going on, and now this blood and this chaos has sort of made it more solid, and you can see through to another place. With buildings and weird skies, sort of purple and orange, and it looks solid to you, and you know that you could go through, or that something could come through.
Can I make an occult spin to know something more about this thing?
Why don't you make that spend?
Okay.
I think that you can tell that this is a gate that functions like according to those rules of that book that you have. That book that you got from Hert's apartment that Sarah handed to you, that you had a chance to look through. It definitely is that. And that whatever kind of ritual that Humboldt was doing was probably to kind of try and manifest that. And it will be open for just a little while longer before it closes again. And this is definitely the gate that Hurt went through before.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna call back down, I'm going through. And I go through.
Okay. Harry, you'll look up. You've kind of still freaked out. You hear Woodrow shout, and you see Woodrow running up the stairs towards that gate. What do you do?
I would like to get Humboldt's attention.
Oh yeah,
so
he's down that hole on the floor below.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Sarah knocked him down there.
Right. Wait, Woodrow, why are you running for that door?
Oh, why?
Why? Yeah.
Because how much occult knowledge is there? I need to know.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I stash this terrifying occult artifact.
Yeah, you wrap it in something. What do you have to wrap it in?
I guess I take off my jacket.
Oh, a gentleman without their jacket on.
I know. Desperate times.
Yeah, you quickly wrap it up, and then what do you do?
I don't think I actually follow Woodrow.
Okay.
I think I'm okay, bye.
Okay.
And I'm gonna dip.
Okay, Elena, you still have that up? Humboldt's gotten thrown down to the floor below.
I mean, I think the second Sarah pushes him and he falls, if we can go back 6 seconds.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm lighting that stick of dynamite and tossing it in the hole.
Okay. Then I think there is that bit where he's kind of straightening up. Go ahead and make an explosives roll. I think difficulty is 3.
Yeah, I'm going to spend the
right
one I
down
have
the
left.
thing. Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. I just don't roll a 1. roll. And they rolled a 2. So
Well,
3.
3. So it's not a great throw. And I think it does hit. We'll see that explosion, but you'll also feel kind of the building shake.
Yeah,
at
destabilizing
that point.
for sure.
And you definitely hear the sound of the crack as that elevator gives. With the and everything here is shaking. There's been a couple of things of dynamite up here. This is an unfinished floor. Things are kind of cracking. Humboldt starts to say something when that dynamite explodes on top of him. The other people who fell down there are a thin paste at this point. You landed there, Sarah. You knocked Humboldt in. You kind of saw him start to stand up, and then that dynamite goes up. What do you do, Sarah?
Seeing that, so we're feeling the building shake. Like this
these
building
top levels are, not in great shape right now.
I think it might be time to get out of here. I say we got to get out of here, and I make back toward the stairs.
Okay, you see Woodrow running up the stairs towards that gate.
Don't do it! Don't do it, you fool!
You go rushing for those stairs down. Harry, you're rushing for the stairs down. Elena?
I think I look at at Woodrow running up and the other 2 running down, and I run up.
Okay. And I think we see you 2 running up for that gate. And Harry, Sarah, you see the other half of your team running upwards.
I take one last look and I hold on to my treasure and I run down the stairs.
Sarah?
I follow Harry.
Okay. And I think that we see the 2 of you run down those stairs, even as this building is coming down. Go rushing up the stairs. Woodrow, do you go through? Elena?
Oh, 100%.
I need you to make an athletics roll. Or fleeing, either one, to get up there in time.
I have more points left in flee, so I'll use
Okay.
flee. What's the do you mind telling me the
Difficulty is a 4.
Yeah, I'll spend 3.
Okay.
And let's roll that die if my mouse won't stop or won't start. There we go. That's a 6 plus 3 is 9.
So Woodrow, you will go through this gate and you look back and it's just like in your dream. You can see through and you can see Elena and you can see Elena jump and fall, but now you realize she falls into here. She come crashing to the top of this roof here. Sarah, Harry, fleeing to get out of this building, difficulty 5, uninjured, unscathed as it starts coming down.
Wait, do we have to roll?
Yeah. Difficulty
Okay.
5.
Heck yeah. I would like to spend 5 in fleeing.
Okay.
I will spend all of my remaining fleeing points, which is only 2. Let's
Okay.
see what happens.
I'll roll a 2.
Oh, okay. And I
You've
got a 5.
5. And what did you get, Harry? You got like a bunch.
I rolled 2.
Oh, yeah.
So it's 7.
What does that look like? What do we see as the top floors of this building begin to fall, hit one another? They're unfinished. They start crashing into one another as you're running down these stairs. What do we see? Sarah, what does it look like for you?
So Sarah is like running down. She's taking these steps. She's taking these steps like two at a time. Thankfully, thankfully, she decided to wear flats, not heels, because figured she was going into danger. But yeah, she's taking the steps like two at a time, and is kind of half running, half like controlled fall. I don't know if you've ever kind of like scrambled, like run as fast as you can downstairs. Going down is easy. It's coming to a stop that's hard.
Yeah, running. The building is shaking.
I'm thinking pieces of masonry are falling around.
And here's the thing: is there are ghosts around you screaming. The ghosts of the people who were in that building that collapsed before. This is just like that for them, and they are enacting that as well. And so you're kind of having to dodge through them as you do this. Harry, what does it look like for you?
I've lost my hat. My hair is a mess. I know, and I'm like my jacket is off as well, and I'm like scrambling down, looking panicked. And as these like ghosts are reaching out, I think one of them like tugs at the jacket of that's wrapping the
Chronochorazon.
Thank you. And I'm like, no, and I tug it and I like stumble. But I'm still like holding on and just very violently trying to fight them off, but also like looking like very like a mess, but like just obsessed with like needing to hold on to this as we escape. It's as important to me as getting out of here.
Absolutely. Rush, we'll see you to hit the ground floor. The security guards have backed off because things have been falling. You two come running out of there. They're like, what's going on? What's going on?
To that, Sarah shouts, and so Sarah's running down. So she's lost that little fashionable hat that she was wearing. Her hair is mostly it's kind of half undone with her bun, so it's like billowing behind her, and she's just booking past these guys and shouts like, "Run!"
And we'll see run across the street. I mean, the top of this building should come down, but it shouldn't come down like this. Like something else has happened, like some kind of supernatural force up there struck by the dynamite. The building coming down has been unleashed, and we see the whole thing implode, like it gets sucked in, and then it comes crashing down into that site. And for a second, you can see a flicker up in the night sky of maybe a doorway, and then that winks out. Woodrow, Elena, you're on top of, well, it's a building, but this is like a mockery of a building. This building is like somebody tried to carve a cyclopean imitation of a skyscraper out of a piece of solid stone. You're atop that, and you can see more of these, like somebody's made a mocked New York, the water dripping through weird building shaped blocks, enormously tall. You can see there's some other things up here, like on top of this building. And then down below, you can see that there is like a factory. And you can see there are people there being led into this factory. And you know that this is what this is about. Excess souls being sold by Humboldt to this machinery of the other side. Workers fed into this machine. And I think that's our game. So, epilogues. let's start with Sarah. What is your epilogue in the aftermath of this?
Newsboy, like holding up the New York Daily Mirror, extra, read all about it. And he's got the New York Daily Mirror, and it's the headline is I'm blanking out on the name of the building.
Coleman Building.
Coleman, Coleman built, Coleman collapse, Humboldt humbled.
Oh God.
And it's this, like expos, because she's gone in and done a whole bunch of more traditional gumshoe investigative journalism, and has basically broken the story on how the Humboldts have she's kind of not doing the supernatural stuff, but is like getting into all of the financial mismanagement, the bribery, the graft, the blackmail, all of this horrible stuff that the Humboldt family had been doing to build this building, and how it all came tumbling down. And I think we're spinning it as I think she's going to spin it as a work of sabotage by the mafia, who the Humboldts had gotten a lot of money from, and obviously weren't going to be able to pay out when this building comes down. So she's done, and it's mostly true, but it's this so her epilogue is it's her byline, front page, she's got the lead, and and I see her and she's in an office in the mirror building, and the phone and a phone rings off camera, and and the voice of a secretary says, "Ms. Jenkins, it's the Times for you."
Nice. Harry, what is our epilogue for you?
It's Harry getting home, and almost immediately after this, it's very late at night, and Betty, and Betty is also just getting home, and it's just taking her hat pin out, and then putting her hat away, and says, "Harry," and then and I stumble in looking like a mess, and she comes up to me and says, "Oh, Harry, what happened to you?" And I say, "Oh, nothing. What's for dinner?" And as she shows me whatever terrible things she has concocted, I move the jacket just enough for me to look down at the
Chorazon. Yeah.
Chorazon. And it's the camera zooms in on my eyes, and my eyes just reflect it's hands, right?
Yeah, hands joined together to form a face and a skull.
Yeah, my eyes just it's two skulls formed with hands just reflecting in my eyes.
Nice. Woodrow and Elena. What is your epilogue in this? Who wants to go first?
I can, unless Woodrow has a very strong idea.
Well, I thought it might be fun for us to do the scene of what we say afterwards, just there, on top of this building. But whatever you want to do.
No, I mean, if you want to have that scene, go ahead. What do you say to me?
Well, I think I pull out a cigarette, light one, offer one to you.
I take it.
Just kind of like slump down on the top of this building and say, well, I was going to be blackmailed, I think by the cult. So I'm glad that I don't have to worry about that anymore.
And I just say, I look down at this, like I take a drag on the cigarette, and I look down at this factory that you described, right? This machinery, and I say, well, I smile at you, and I say, such a lovely building to burn, and perhaps we can take something back with us out to burn out the imperialists back home too. The struggle is where we take it, Woodrow. And I don't even know that I know that you're a communist, right? But like, I'm just sort of, this is what I care about, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I just like, I don't think I have a flask or anything, but I just like make a mock toast and I'm like, yeah, here's to burning it all down.
Now you understand. And I think that's like, I mean, my epilogue is that, right? Like I'm not interested in organizing workers, right? I'm an anarchist, not a communist. Right. I'll organize them to the extent they're willing to fight to free themselves from the yoke. But mostly, it's about getting in there and doing some damage, and all along trying to see see if there's something here I can take and control and get out to bring home. I don't know if I ever find it. Right.
Yeah, I think there is that search. I think it is destroying these bosses, destroying this system of control, these horrible, essentially chthonic Pinkertons and other figures running this thing, and then trying to find something in some way home. And that's where we're going to leave off. We had one more session, but I think this does it in 4. I think this is a good, complete story. So I think that works. If you don't mind, I would like to do some stars, anything you want to say about this, things that you dug in particular. I want to say I had a good time. I loved the wildness of this session, and I loved the splitting. Like I was, if you'd all gone through, that's one thing, but I think the splitting actually dramatically felt really right there. So I appreciate that. Let's do that same order. Mike, anything stars? Anything you want to talk about?
I had a ball. This is really this is a really fun series. I really enjoyed playing with all of you. This is just so much fun. Jesse, hats off to you for for just pushing and pushing and pushing with Elena. She is someone that if I knew in real life, I would be utterly terrified of.
Yes.
But she was so much fun to play against. Yeah, I never knew exactly what she was going to do, and I loved that about her. So thank you. And Agatha, I really enjoyed. I just really enjoyed Harry. He was just a little slimy, just a little just a little oily. Always kind of in it for himself, but at the same time, he was someone we could count on. So, and that was so I liked that. Even though you're playing him to be kind of a coward, he was clearly loyal to his friends, and and you were the one that got off with the treasure, dubious treasure that it may be. John, I I love that whole communist subplot with Woodrow, the communist college professor. That was awesome. And you definitely unleashed your inner badass in that final scene with just like pulling out the gun and opening fire and getting the gun in the first place. And yeah, that's super fun. I just really enjoyed this. This is a great conclusion to this series.
Awesome.
And Lowell, hats off to you for for like guiding us through this kind of like organized chaos. This is a fun scenario, and you were definitely a great GM, rolling with the weirdness we were throwing at you, and this is just so much fun. I really
Awesome.
enjoyed this game.
Awesome. Agatha?
Yeah, I also have stars for everyone. John, I love that at the last moment, you sent Woodrow into the door and then like just calling on the drive again. That was very cool. I feel like that like gave a different dimension to John that I didn't see until like the last moment. I feel like that was a great like ending kind of moment. Jesse, I agree with everyone else. Like, I really like Elena in that she's the kind of PC that drives fiction a lot, and that like really is just there's always something will always happen that it will be interesting whenever Elena is like taking action in the scene. So I appreciate that a lot, and it's also really fun to play with, to just like get all of this bombastic really like moments.
Mm-hmm.
And then also Mike, I really like Sarah too. I feel like especially that ending, the epilogue with the double puns in the oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that was
that's very
my
classic.
star.
Yeah.
My star because it made me cringe, and I think that is what puns are supposed to do. So the major stars, but I also really like Sarah. I think Sarah is cool and like resourceful, without falling into any like women character stereotypes that tends to happen with like noir / like Cthulhu stories. So I appreciated that. And then of course, Lol, I love the way that you're like, we're near the end. Let's let's have everything happen. That was really cool. I also liked how that you still ended with like all the creepy stuff, and that because that's kind of like what we come for when we play a Trail of Cthulhu game. So I really appreciate that.
Awesome. I want to say thank you for suggesting this as well, Agatha, because I hadn't run Trail on the Gauntlet. So I appreciate the request and kind of pushing me to go, yeah, I have all the stuff. I should do something with it. So that is appreciated. John?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everybody. I had a blast. I think that, everybody had all these great moments. Sarah's epilogue, I really loved Harry's epilogue. I think that was just like a wonderful kind of horror movie ending. And the way Elena was like a total fearless badass, right? That was like really cool. A couple things that I wanted to call out that Lowell did that I really enjoyed. One is those poor ghosts. Like they had this building collapse on them, and then somebody like rebuilt the exact building from all this stuff, and it fell on them again. It's like that's got to be like the worst afterlife. Oh my gosh. And so that was really cool. And I love the moment where, if I were jamming, I think I would have missed this, to draw back in my dream and to remember that happened, and then to have it happen in the fiction. That was great. So yeah, I really enjoyed myself, and yeah, it was great.
Awesome. Jesse?
Stupid mouse. Okay. Oh, this was so great. I love all of the PCs, fantastic characters. I felt like I had a very clear sense of what like each one of your characters kind of wanted in this. And drives are definitely like a cool mechanical latch for that. But I think also just you drew them well. So like, and I think all of my stars for this session like point towards like you following those drives to do cool things instead of obvious things, if that makes sense. So like Mike, I loved in that moment when you saw the cultists and everyone sitting on the floor, your first thought, I gotta get a picture, gotta get a glossy for the tabloids, just gotta. It was like so perfect and amazing, and I loved it. And like Agatha, same to you. It's like you've got this character who's kind of a little bit of a coward, right? But he knows what he wants, and which is cool occult shit. And he dives after it hard. And so I loved you like after like running to hide and seeing the angle, then like, okay, I'm gonna take my moment. I'm gonna take my shot. And I also, this is just like a great player moment where like you can have the character make a kind of like selfish in character move, which at the same time as a player is helping like the group accomplish what they want to accomplish as a team. Which I felt that moment kind of was for Harry. And so like that's hard to do. And it was just like I admire it and thought it was super cool. That like get all of those pieces together at once. And yeah, it's also that John, it's that stepping through the portal. It's that like, oh, the portal's there, the building's going down. I'm just gonna do that. That's what I care about. That's what I'm here for. I'm an astronomer. I want to see new worlds, so I'm going to do that. And so, yeah, just like awesome stuff. It's been fun playing through the whole thing. Lol, again, like I thank you to Agatha for suggesting Lol run this. Lol, thank you to you for seeing that I was interested in playing Gumshoe and reaching out to me. That was so nice of you. And I'm still not so sure about the system. I'm having a hard time untangling the system from the awesome GMing and players. Want to think about it some more, but you were just like a fantastic GM. I could see, the looking at the die rolls and thinking of, okay, so like what's partial success, complete success, right? Like where on the spectrum are you? Like what can I give you that will push the action forward? Was like super fun. Was like in lots of those moments. Like pushing all of our sort of like buttons. Oh, you think you solved this? No, new problem. And just sort of like also like kind of working the system, at least for me, right? When I certainly don't have any kind of mastery over the system. And you're like, okay, well, here's what you want to do. And you're not quite sure how to do it. Why don't we try this? That like I'm thinking in particular of the moment where I'm like, well, I don't have intimidate, so let's make it explosives. But then you're like, but you didn't say this, but in the results of you could see like, but what that means is, right, you don't just get what you want. There's going to be a roll, and now like it's about blowing shit up and not just about intimidating them. And so like that was you helping me through that, and then like the moment it created was really cool. Sorry, that was a lot of talking. I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I had a very good time. I am going to stop the recording.